Thomas Mingeisha. He will fight for your rights.
Greetings and salutations. I am Captain Tom Mingeisha, United States Army retired and the former adjutant for Base Support Battalion North out of Camp Deer in Kuwait. Folks, today what I want to do is talk about the DEERS system. Now, do I mean, being the hunting season, you go out and shooting some deers? No, I'm specifically talking about the Defense Enrollment Eligibility Reporting System, better known as DEERS. When you join the military, and specifically if you're married or if you have children, what you want to make sure that you do is that you have them registered in this national database. And in this particular case, it is the Defense Enrollment Eligibility Reporting System, as I had indicated, DEERS. Now, what is DEERS? DEERS is a computerized database of military sponsors, families, and others worldwide who are entitled to TRICARE and other benefits. Now, what is TRICARE? Many of you all are familiar with Blue Cross Blue Shield or Medicaid and Medicare. Well, TRICARE is the health benefit program that enables sponsors to have their dependent spouses or children have medical care. And what this DEERS system does, it is a mechanism by which all of their dependents and spouses are tracked, and that affords them these benefits. Other benefits that are available to those who are holders of the DEERS ID card enables them to certain benefits such as morale support activities, flying on space available travel, and things such as that. Now, things to keep in mind. Each family member's eligibility record must be updated separately when changes occur. So in other words, if one family member, say your son or your daughter, has a change of circumstances, that has to be updated separately from the others who may or may not have a change of status, or even if they do have a change of status, they have to go in and have that done as well. Now, any changes that impact you or your family, for example, marriage, births, or divorces, must also be updated within the DEERS system. So once you're married, you want to make sure that you go down to your local office or your nearest installation that is able to update your DEERS ID and get that taken care of. Also, if you're married to someone, you want to make sure that is taken care of, or if you're divorcing someone, you want to make sure that that is updated as well, because certain benefits are lost immediately. I mean, when I mean immediately, by midnight the day of the divorce, the spouse who has divorced the military sponsor will no longer have those benefits. Also, as soon as you re-enlist or you should take your re-enlistment papers. Or let's say you're in the gray area of retirement. I am one of those folks. I retired from the military. I am known as a gray area retiree, and I'm going to do a standalone video about that. What exactly does being a gray area retiree mean? Well, once I officially am retired, I also will have to ensure that I get a new ID, and any spouse or children of mine would have to get IDs as well to update my status from moving to a gray area retiree to a full retiree. Now, it is important to update you and your family's home address because TRICARE information, and again, that's that medical information, uses that to send information and to schedule appointments based off of the address of record. Now, if you have children that are over the age of 21 and they're a full-time student, you need to ensure that their student status is enrolled in DEERS, because certain benefits end after 18 or 21, but there's a caveat. If they are full-time students, those benefits can go on longer. So let's recap. Who is eligible to receive a DEERS ID card? You have your military spouse and dependents, military retirees, reservists and National Guard who are not on active duty status, members on the temporary disability retired list or the permanent disability retired list, retired reserve, not yet drawing military retirement pay. And once again, those are the gray area retirees. It's a term kind of coined for those individuals who have not started receiving their retirement money, but they fulfill their obligation of active reserve or active service. Medical honor recipients, 100% disabled veterans, former members in receipt of retired pay, eligible foreign military, transitional health care recipients also are able to receive a DEERS card, full-time paid personnel of the United States Service Organization, Red Cross, which are serving outside of the U.S., United States Seaman Service personnel when serving outside of the United States as well, officers and crews of military sealift command, vessels deployed to foreign countries. Those are people. Also, other family members eligible for military ID include authorized dependents of military retirees, reservists, National Guard, retired reservists, National Guard not yet receiving military retired pay. Once again, that's that gray area. Medal of Honor recipients, 100% disabled veterans, as I indicated earlier, and former spouses eligible for 2020 benefits, and we'll discuss those in future benefits as well. Now, you might be asking, what benefits do military ID card spouses for and dependents, veterans, and retirees cover? And those, again, are your medical benefits, your TRICARE benefits. It shows it's actually a national ID, form of ID that you can use to verify who you are. Now, you might want to know, well, where do I get that? One of the things that you want to do is you want to go online and Google your local ID card office. And there is a program called the Rapid Site Locator. And what you do on that site is you plug in your email address or your zip code, your address, and it will populate all the areas, all the sites in your areas. You can set it by 20 miles, 10 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles out, and it'll give a radius. And then some of these facilities are open on a walk-in basis. So generally speaking, you want to have an appointment, but many of them, if not all of them, but certainly many of them have the ability, they set aside one day a week or whenever, where someone can actually walk in and take care of say, adding a dependent or getting their ID card. And I can tell you from what I've seen, it is quick, if you have an appointment, that is, and you receive your ID the same day, assuming you have all the documentation that you are required to bring. And when you go online at the Rapid Site Locator, the address that you can Google, it will tell you all the information and the items that you will need. Now, you might want to know, well, what if you don't live near a military base? Again, this website will give you all the sites in your area or even further out, and then you can call and make that appointment. Now, how does the family member get their first ID? Now, the family members must first be enrolled in the Defense Enrollment Reporting System, or DEERS, to receive their first military ID. And once they're enrolled, they will then be eligible to receive their ID. Now, what happens if you lose your ID? Well, again, you would go to a location and you'd go through the Rapid Office Locator and let them know that you've lost their ID, and there are steps set aside to help you get your new ID. Now, the big question that often comes up is, let's say you're married. And, as many marriages, or in the United States, 50% of marriages end in divorce, and in some communities as high as 80%. What happens in that case, once you're divorced, the date that your divorce is finalized at midnight, the beneficiary loses their benefit that they've received as being eligible for DEERS. So it is very rapid, as they say. And one other thing I'd like to point out, let's say that your husband or wife who served in the military passes on and you were married. Are you still able to get a military ID card or the DEERS card? And the answer to that is yes. A surviving spouse and eligible children of deceased active duty members and retired military members, Medal of Honor recipients, and 100% disabled veterans are eligible for military IDs. Surviving dependents of deceased reserve members, National Guard members, and retired reserve members not yet age 60 and former members not in receipt of retired pay may also be eligible for an ID card. Well, I hope that answers questions as it relates to the DEERS ID card or the Defense Enrollment Eligibility Reporting System that you have to be signed into in order to receive your ID card. Hope that answers your questions. If you have any other questions relating to military way of life, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you have your DEERS card and you have advice for those hoping to get their DEERS card or some other benefits of having a DEERS card, go ahead and leave that comment down below. Also, some organization, this is for all of y'all who decided to listen to the whole video, one of the other tips to keep in mind is that many organizations and business establishments will give you that same military discount if you have your military dependent ID card. So, with that, I wish you all blessings and blessings. Shalom.
Call on, call on, call on. Thomas Mingation.